Hello everyone, today paper came too late, but here I am with the paper solution JEE Main Test 95, and here are the analysis that I have done. So for me 4 questions were tough, that is a replica of a JEE Main question, so if you are very much familiar it's not tough. 20 I have rated tough because the formula that is used I don't know how many of you know, because frankly I even don't teach to my students, so I have regarded it as tough. In question number 2 I don't agree with the answer. In question number 19 I can't make out why to reject other options. So this is on part of my analysis. So 10 and 11, if I take 10 and if I take half of this, 15 questions, so 60 marks should be scoreable if you can duck that tough ones out, and if you are very good you should get 80 plus in this particular paper. So first question, time period of a spring mass system is T if the spring is cut into two parts whose length are in the ratio 1:3 and the same mass is attached to the longer part. So longer part means the new lengths L1 and L2 it is 1/3, so L2 would be, you can say, is 3L0/4. And what we know K is inverse to L, so what I can write K2 upon K0, in that case it would be 4/3, so new K2 will be equal to 4/3 of K0. So then K becomes 4/3, you know time period is 2 pi root of m by K, mass is same, K has become 4/3, so that means this will become root of 3/4 times the T, original one T0, or you can write it as root of 3T/2, that is the option C, that is you can tick. Next one, the work done in placing the dielectric slab inside one of the capacitors as shown in the diagram is, okay, so what you have, placing the dielectric slab in the capacitor, you have to find out. So first of all what we can do, you can see initially the system is let's say when it was not given, is they were in series, and the charge that has passed, that is Q0, what equal to C0/T into V, C0/T into V, that was the charge. And what was the energy of the system, that is half C0/2 by 2 into V square, I can write like that. Now what we have now, as soon as you insert it, what is the final charge on the capacitors, the final charge would be, that is what the C final would be. C final you can write as K into 1 upon K plus 1, that is K upon K plus 1 C. So final charge would be K upon K plus 1 times CV, C0 V you can write. So what we have, the extra charge that has passed through the battery, the extra charge that has passed through the battery would be equal to what you can write as, that would be K upon K plus 1 C0 V minus C0 V by 2. So what we have, C0 V K upon K plus 1 minus 1 by 2, that is what you can do. So this is equal to, what we get as a 2K minus K plus 1, that would be 2K minus K minus 1, that is K minus 1 upon K plus 1 C0 V by 2, that is what we will get here. So this is delta Q, so the work done by the battery would be delta Q into V, that is C0 V square by 2 into K minus 1 upon K plus 1. So that is the work done in placing the dielectric slab inside one of the capacitors. This is by the battery, this is we have calculated as the work done by the battery. So now this is the dubious one, if I take the work done by battery, then the work done by battery will be this, and if you solve it, work done simply as delta U of the energy stored between the capacitors, you will get half of this value which is given by the answer as the NTA. So I'm leaving it to you. For me, work done, I don't know what they mean by work done. For me, work done should be like this, that is the work done by battery, that is the additional charge passed through from the battery into the EMF of the battery. So I'll go for D, they have given B. Next one, B you can justify as change in energy, but I'll prefer to go with the more logical one, the D option. Two electrons in hydrogen-like atoms A and B have their total energies in the ratio EA upon EB is 1:2. Their potential energies are in the ratio 1:2. Okay. If lambda A and lambda B were the de Broglie wavelengths, and lambda A and lambda B will be. So if their energies are in this ratio, the kinetic energies will also, you can say, will also be in the same ratio. So lambda we can write as H upon root 2 mk. So lambda would be 1 by K. So lambda A by lambda B would be root of Kb by Ka. So you can write it as root 2:1. Go for option D because the ratio of the energies K, U and E remains the same. Next, system undergoes a reversible adiabatic process. The entropy of the system, because it is a reversible adiabatic process, it's a reversible process. The change in entropy where you typically define as delta Q by T, and delta Q here you know is equal to 0 because there is no change, no heat supplied or given, so it will remain constant. Change is going to be this delta S is delta Q by T, that you should write. So that delta S is 0 or S will remain the constant. Next one, the potential at the electric field produced by a point charge at any point is given by this, the intensity of the field. Since potential changes only in x, so field is only along the x-axis and depends only on the x coordinate. So Ex I can directly write here as minus dV by dx. It comes out as minus 6x. So at this point Ex would be minus 6 into minus 2, that would be plus 12 volt per meter. So this is option C you can go for. Next one, two identical balls P and Q are projected with same speed in a vertical plane from the same point O, making projection angle 30 and 60, and they fall directly on the plane AB at P dash Q dash respective. Which of the following statement is true about distances as given in options? Now a comparison is not so obvious because 60 degree will take much time, less time, it's tough to say. Better thing is, okay, this is 60 and 30, so what I can make out, if I draw this path it would be something like this, if I draw this path it would be something like this. So I can clearly make it out, this at the same height their ranges will be same because they are complementary, and from here the speeds are same, it will be going like this, it would be going like this. So clear cut this ball will be definitely making the more range. So this one is this is 30 degree will be the landing far away, so 30 degree one is P dash, so AP dash is going to be AQ dash, you can directly make from this figure. So it's a very nicely asked question. Next one, you have particle M1 fastened at one end of a string and another particle of M2 attached to the middle point, the other end of the string being fastened to a fixed point. The particles are made to revolve in a horizontal circular path, then the ratio of tension in the part of the string between the center and M2 to that in that will be. So let's say let it be T1 and let it be T2. So it would be T2 acting like this. So on M1 only T2 is acting, to T2 is M1, you can say omega square into L, and for the M1 what we have, T1 minus T2 would be equal to M2 omega square, half of that is L by 2. And what we have, the ratio of the tension you have to find out. So if I divide it, what I will have, T1 by T2 minus 1 is M1 upon M2, and you can write it as 2M2. So you have to take the ratio, you have to take that inverse ratio that I have taken, don't worry. So T1 by T2 would be M1 plus 2M2 upon 2M2. So this T2 by T1 that is being asked, or T1 by T2 that is being asked to you, okay, center and T2, this is being asked, so M1 plus M2 upon 2M2. So what we are, I can see what is the last option or what is the first option, let me check. So it is M1, okay, I have done a mistake. What is the mistake I am doing? This one, if I divided L by 2 this will go 2, okay, so this is my mistake. So it would be 2M1 plus M2 plus M2, okay. I was lucky that no option was there, otherwise I would have ticked that also. So it would be option C, so go for it. Next, object is projected from the earth's surface with escape velocity at 30 degree with horizontal. What is the angle made by the velocity with horizontal when the object reaches a height 2r from the earth's surface? Okay, now it's a nice one. So let's say it is something like this. Okay, now you have thrown it at an angle 30 degree with the horizontal. So horizontal I can say here it would be vertical, it would be horizontal. I have thrown it like this at 30 degree with V escape. Now it will go in the path, and what is it reaches at a height 2r above. 2r above means here it would be 3r. So what the angle it makes, let's say the horizontal will be here, would be like this. So what I can make it out, let's say this angle B, let's say this is theta, and let's say this is BV. So first of all what I can say, about the center of the earth angular momentum should remain conserved because force line of action always passes through O. So what I can write, MVE sin theta, cos 30, that is perpendicular, MVE cos 30 into R would be equal to MV cos theta into this gap is 3R. So first of all this V cos theta would be equal to VE cos 30 divided by 3. This is the first equation you get. Next, energy conservation says half mv escape square minus GME m by R would be equal to half mv square minus GMEM by 3R. So what we have now, we can get this MMM cancelled up. So this is V escape square minus, if I do this 2 will get cancel out 2 times, what I will have, GME by R minus GME by 3R would be equal to V square. So this V square would be V escape square minus, if I do 1 by 1 minus 1 by 3 would be 2 by 3, so that is 4 GME by 3R. Okay, and 2 GME by R is V square, so I can write it as V square minus 2 V square by 3, that is V square by 3. So V square is V square by 3, so what I can make it out, V is V by root 3 from here. And what if I put the value V as V by root 3, so V by root 3 is cos theta, which is V cos 30, cos 30 you know is root 3 by 2 upon 3. So what we will have this cos theta as 1 by 2, so theta is 60 degree, that is what we can do from here. So theta will become 60 degree, option C we will go for. Next, the temperature at which a molecule of nitrogen will have the same RMS velocity as molecule of oxygen. So RMS velocity, you know Vrms, you have this formula root 3 RT by m naught. So temperature same means Tn2 upon 28 must be equal to TO2 upon 32. So T of N2 would be equal to O2 127 is 400 into, you can write it as 7 by 8, this is 50 into 7, that is 350 Kelvin. So be careful, 350 Kelvin means 77 degrees Celsius. Don't take C in excitement. Next, chain is hanging from a wooden structure as shown in the figure. It is slowly taken to a state as shown in the figure B. Okay, where it is taken? Okay, state B. Calculate the work done by gravity in the process. Assume that after reaching the point the chain doesn't form a heap. Okay, so what I can make out, this length and this length potential energy remains same. So what is happening, this one we call it as a, what we can say, it is a semicircular ring, you can say. And if I have to do this, this is a semicircular ring, and we have to, let's say, check its potential energy, because it is now here at the zero height. It is now at the zero height. So what we can do now, using the CM concept, this CM height you know is 2r by pi, so this will be b by pi. Okay, now so I can directly say this curved part goes by this b by pi plus a plus b by pi into g, that is the work done. And what is the curved path mass, that is m, this is the total mass upon total length. What I can write, total length is a plus pi by 2r, and r is you know is b by 2. Okay, now multiplied by the length you have calculated it as pi b by 4 into a plus b by pi into g, that is what you are getting. So if I do this, what I am getting, m into pi b by 4, I can do this as pi a plus b upon pi into g, and if I do this, this will come out as 4a plus pi b, and this 4 will come up, 4 and 4 goes, pi and pi goes. So mb into pi a plus b into g upon 4a plus pi b. If I am getting any option, yes, this is option D, that is the answer here. So it could be greatly reduced if you use that CM concept for that semicircular ring. Quarter ring symmetry, the y coordinate will still remain the same, so you can directly utilize those concepts and you can solve it. Okay, next one, the dimensional formula for the capacitance. So how you will find the capacitance? Think of any formula that is easiest to recollect in any terms. So I can say U is equal to Q square by 2C is the easiest one, because energy formula we know. So C is Q square is A2T2, and energy is ML2T minus 2. That I always advise my students to remember. So what it is A2 M minus 1 L minus 2 T4. So what it is, it's coming out as option A. Go for it. In the YDAC experiment shown here, the intensity on the screen due to slit 2 is 4 times that of slit 1. Okay, resultant intensity at central maxima O is I. The resultant intensity at point P, where the phase difference between two waves coming from the two slits is cos inverse 1. Now let I1 intensity be I naught, and I2 then becomes 4 I naught. So I max, which is I, would be equal to root I naught plus root 4 I naught whole square, you know that. So that comes out as 3 square, that is 9 I naught. You can make it out, it is 9 I naught. So I naught is I by 9. Now at any general point, intensity can be written as I1 plus I2, that is I naught plus 2 I naught, I naught plus 4 I naught, I should write I naught plus 4 I naught plus 2 root I1 I2, that will become 2 into 2 I naught here into cos of phi. Cos of phi is 1 by 4 it is given, so it becomes 5 I naught, and because it is 1 by 4 it becomes I naught, that is 6 I naught. And 6 I naught, what you can write I naught as I by 9, so this is 6 I by 9, or you can say it is 2/3 of the intensity at the maxima. So go for option B, not a tough one, just go by systematic ways. Calculate the resulting temperature when 20 gram of boiling water, that is 100 degree, I can assume, is poured into a ice cold brass vessel, okay, of mass 100 gram. So let's say final temperature be T. So what it loses 20 into 1 into 100 minus T, and what is gains? Heat lost is heat gain, that is 100 into 0.1 into T minus 0. Ice cold mean it was at 0. So it is 20 into 100, that is 2000 minus 20T is equal to 10T, okay. So 30T is 2000, so T comes out as 200 by 3, 200 by 3 is 66.66 degrees Celsius. You can go for option A. Next one. Inside a horizontally moving box, an experimenter finds that when an object is placed on a smooth horizontal table and is released, it moves with an acceleration of 10. Okay, smooth table is released, it moves in an acceleration of 10 meter per second square. In this box, if 1 kg body is suspended with a light string, the tension in the string in equilibrium position is, so what it would be, so in equilibrium if I apply that pseudo force, it would be again MA naught, and it would be mg, and it would be tension like this. So from the logic, what I can say, T cos theta will manage mg, T sin theta will manage MA naught, and because A naught magnitude is equal to G, this theta is going to be 45 degrees. So I can directly say T into 1 by root 2 is mg, that is 10. So T would be equals to 10 root 2 Newton for sure. Or directly you can say it would be under root MA naught square plus mg whole square. So that also gives you 10 root 2. You can go for it. Just by looking at the data, you should be able to determine it, such type of questions, and that is the beauty of these questions. If you have studied hard, you can easily do them. You can visualize what the examiner is actually wanting to ask from you. Now come to the next one. You have two men 50-60 kg diametrically opposite of a turntable 90 kg. Turntable is free to rotate about vertical axis. Two men start moving towards each other along the circumference of the table. The angle rotated by the table when the two men meet each other. Okay, so what will, now let us visualize the situation. Let's assume, let's say, let me draw the table. Let's say this is the table, and let's say the both start moving with respect to each other. So let's say if I see in frame of table, let's say I can see both let's say meet here, or let's say what I can say, it goes here and it goes here. Here I have taken an said assumption that I am assuming that both moves equally with respect to the table. I am assuming. So what we can say here, let's say both moves with the same angular speed, or say with respect to that you can say. So in that case, let's say it goes like this, it turns by some angle theta in the sense of the first one. So what we can say, because angular momentum must remain same, so that thetas or omega's relation will be same. So what I can say, the first one 50, its omega would be omega plus omega of table, so angle will also be 90 plus theta, that is the turn one. The second one, because it has mass 60 and it has gone opposite, it would be negative of that. So what I can write, instead of plus it will become minus 90 minus theta, I can say. And the third one is the table, that is 90 into theta, that should be 0, because angular momentum conservation you can go for it. So what we have, let's say 0 0, all thing goes. So 5 into 90 plus theta minus 6 into 90 minus theta plus 9 theta is 0. So what we have, 5 theta and 11 and 9, that is 20 theta. I'll have 20 theta will become 90 into 5, that is 540 is 450, and this is 540. So 540 minus 450, that is 90. So theta would be 9 by, that means this is 4.5 degrees. So I'll go for option B. So it's a nice question. And next one, a manometer, that is a pressure measuring device connected to a closed tap, reads this much. When the valve is open, the reading of the manometer falls to this. The velocity of flow of water is, okay. So what is the velocity of the flow of water is? So what I can say, this half rho v square will be equal to that drop. That drop, will you write it as, drop is 0.5 into 10 to the power 5. So v square is 10 to the power 5 upon this 10 to the power 3. So v square is 100. So v is 10 meter per second. So it's an easy one if you can visualize this thing. Because of that flow, the pressure is dropping now. In the circuit shown in figure, if potential at A is taken to be 0, okay, then the potential at B is. So if it is 0, I know this is minus 1. And it is minus 1, we have to find the potential at point B. Let's say if B is x, so it would be x plus 2, okay. So now what we have this current 1 ampere going, these two will be in series. Now how to find the potential at the point B now at this point? So what I can say, this current is 2 ampere, this is 1 ampere coming, 2 ampere coming, so this is 3 ampere. So 3 2s are 6, there is a drop of 6. So drop of 6, if it is minus, that means this is equal to 5. So x plus 2 is 5. So x is equal to 3 volts. You can directly go just by observation and this current division. Next one, an AC alternating electric field frequency f applied across the radius r of a cyclotron to accelerate protons. The operating magnetic field B used and kinetic energy produced are respectively. So first of all, you know this frequency must be equal to QB by 2 pi m. You know this figure. This is QB by 2 pi m for sure. This is the frequency and the kinetic energy of the proton beam produced. So what we can say at the radius r, so radius you can directly say, radius we write it as mv by qb time thing, so that we write ultimately r is what we can say is root 2 mk by qb. So what I can say, this k thing is q square b square r square by 2m. This is the kinetic energy, and if I have to it is not in b terms, so this is what we have, a proton. So q is e square is also not there, so I can use that qb I can write as 4 pi square squaring m square f square r square by 2m. So 1m goes, so what we are left with, 2 pi square m f square, and what was that was r square. So be clear. So what is this coming out as? This is only one option, so go for A will be also be like that if this option is matching. Next one, in two similar wires of tension 16 Newton and T 3 beats are heard, then T can be okay. So beats are heard, tension is given, 3 beats are heard. So what we will have, so it's not that easy to get similar wires and how to do this. So what we have, all options are greater, so it is clear T2 is greater than that 16 Newton or T is greater than 16 Newton, that is for sure. That means it is at a higher frequency. So it is at a higher frequency, you can directly make it out. Now, so what we need to have, we need to have that frequency n2 minus n1 to be equal to 3. Now n is proportional to root t, you know, because it is proportional to v, proportional to root t. So what we can have, this is root t upon k times minus k times root of 16, that should be 3. So root t minus 4 should be 3 by k times some k times, okay. So what I can have, this is 3 by k something things that we need to remember, or 3k you can write, it would be a multiple of like that. So if I do that, 49 is 7 minus 4, that is satisfying if k is 1. 25 minus 4, 5 minus 4 is 1, 1 cannot be 3 by k can be 3 also. So 64 minus 4, that would be again 8 minus 4, that won't be a k, but it's tough to implement. So I don't know how to justify this. I am not getting the idea how to do this, because this is not the right way, I suppose, of asking the question, because data is not complete for me. Or if you can go for 49, but I don't think it's appropriate to reject all other options. What is the value of frequency at which the EM wave must be propagated for the D region of atmosphere to have a refractive index of 0.5? Okay, electron density for D region is 400 electrons per cc. So what we can have, this so here you have to use a formula of refractive index, which says this refractive index n is 1 minus 81 upon n, 81n by f square under root. And I doubt this formula we generally study or not, but you are forced, this is how you will do. So what we are searching for, this frequency. So put n is 0.5, it is 1 minus 81 400 electrons per centimeter cube is given. So if it is given, we have to do per meter cube, so it would be 400 into 10 to the power 6, I suppose, upon f square. You will do you will do this calculation, and now you can do by calculator, or you wish you can do yourself. It's solving this, f comes out as 208.4 kilohertz. I doubt how many of you remember this formula, or how many of you have been taught for this formula. So if you have not taught, you will have to say it namaste and move ahead. Wavelengths belonging to Balmer series lying in the range of 450 to 750 were used to eject photoelectrons from a metal surface whose work function is 2 eV. Find the maximum kinetic energy. So maximum kinetic energy corresponds to the one which is the least energetic one. So that least energetic one, if you can directly remember that particular, so that is 486 nanometer, if you can make it out, or otherwise you know it is the second line that is corresponding from transition from 4 to 2. So what we can say, the energy of that would be 13.6 into 1 by 4 minus 1 by 16. So that is 13.6 into 3 by 16. You can make it out. And this 13.85 into 3, I can make it out. So 0.85 into 3, that would be 2.55 eV. So this is the energy, and work function is 2 eV. So we can go for 0.55. You can go for, so it is 0.55. I can go for. Next, glycerine is filled in 25 millimeter wide space between two large plane horizontal surface, thin plate of area 0.75 meter square at a distance of 10 mm from one of the surfaces in a horizontal position between the plates inside the glycerine. It is dragged horizontally at a constant speed of 0.5. Take coefficient of viscosity is what is the force required. So here friction will be acting from two sides. This is this and this. Let the lower one be F1, the upper one be F2. The F1 would be what we can say neta is 0.5 into A. What you have, A area you will have as what you will have 25 mm wide space plate, okay, 0.75 you are given 0.75 meter square. Neta A dV by dy here would be 0.5 upon 15 mm, that is 15 into 10 raised to power minus 3. Similarly F2 would be 0.5 into 0.75 into 0.5 upon 10 into 10 raised to power minus 3. So what we can make it out, that is the force required. So F required would be F1 plus F2. So doing the calculation, this 0.5 into 0.5 is 1 by 4. So 0.75 by 4 I can write into 10 raised to power minus 3. It would be 1 by 15 plus 1 by 10 I can go for. So what would be, we can go now, this value, let it become 750 above 750 by 4, and it becomes 15 and 10. LCM 15 and 10 is 30. There is 2 plus 3. You can go for 5. This is 6, 24. So this is 750 by 24. So this is 372. 30, that is 31. That is the 60. That is 231.25 Newton. You can go for in this case. Nice question it was. Next one. A point joule of energy is stored for the flow of the current 0.2 ampere in a inductor. So we know U is equal to half Li square. So the value of L would be 2 into 0.1 upon I square is 0.04. So 0.2 upon 0.04 is 5. So you can write it as 5 Henry. That's an easy one. Next one. The half-life of a radioactive nuclide is 20 hours. It is find that fraction 1 by x activity remains after 40 hours. You know 2t half, it is 1 by 4. So x is 4. Directly pick and choose. It was really an easy one. Next one, last one. Plano convex lens has maximum thickness of 1 mm. If diameter of aperture is 4 centimeter, then what is the value of the focal length in air? Now it is a very nice question. So plano convex lens like this. So this would be, let's say, the radius, and aperture, this aperture diameter is 4 centimeter. This gap is 1 mm. So what I can say, this is R. This gap will become R minus 0.1 in centimeters, if I am writing in centimeters, and this is 2 centimeters. So what I can say, R square is 2 square, that is 4 plus R minus 0.1 whole square. So what we have, R square minus R minus 0.1 whole square is equal to 4. So R square minus R square plus 0.2R minus 0.01 is equal to 4. So 0.2R is equal to 4.01, or you can make it out, R is 40 by 2 or 20. So the radius of curvature is approximately 20 centimeters. So the focal length, what you will have, 1.5 minus 1, that is 0.5 upon 1 by infinity minus minus plus 1 upon 20 you will have. So that would be 1 by 40. So focal length is 40 centimeter you can go for. So the such question has been asked in JEE Main previously. It is based on that. So thanks for watching for today's session. Thank you.